So far, when there was option of teaching students by keeping them physically in front of us, the effectiveness of our teaching used to depend upon what strategies we apply on the blackboard or green board or on the smart board, and how we maintain the 3 points of effective teaching or classroom management, like content management, conduct management of the students, and covenant management. That means building rapport with the students. But now, when students are there at their home and the choice is there in their hand to whether come online or not, or to set up somebody proxy in place of him or her, at that time, how can we define our effectiveness? Is that a challenge or our wish? I think it is our wish, and we should reflect upon. Yes, if students like to listen to Amitabh Bachchan, if students like to listen to the songs, if students likes to listen to a few teachers, then why not to others? Why should we doubt whether the student, whether a student who is not live on video and has kept the video mode off is attending or not? Why can't we keep good faith that yes, even after the live session, students can go through the content and the content is going to help them? Is that when we undergo various online trainings, or we had undergone various online trainings, all the sessions we have attended with equal attention? When a student is there in the classroom, then there are no priorities other than gazing outside the window if window is in front of them or beside them, and that too we can control with voice modulation. But when we do online courses, at that time it is our choice to set up our pace of learning, because there can be a number of sources which can be better than the person who desires to have students with them. The very question why students should listen to us is we have to make them understand how our content is going to make an impact in their long lasting memory. And there was a time when content was the king, but now not only the content, concept is also the king. Say, if a student undergoes a kind of a lecture from some other media or some other tutorial, then the tutorial may or may not be customized, because the tutorial had been made by a general by a teacher for general mass. But a particular teacher who knows about their student, about their background, about what they had been taught in the previous class, will know their previous knowledge, will know their pre knowledge, will know their style of learning. And hence, the teachers, those who are assigned to teach a particular type of or particular group of students, they will be more effective. I'll give you a very dependable example of Karn from Mahabharata. He could have kept the ideal of or a kind of picture of Parshuram as his teacher. But why did he choose Dronacharya? It was his choice of learning from Dronacharya. And this online teaching or virtual teaching is not only due to COVID, it's due to our choice also. Dronacharya made some rules in his life that he would teach a particular class of students only. Karn knew that he will not be able to attend the class or will not be able to serve Dronacharya as a student. At that time, students had to serve teachers to learn. Nowadays, teachers serve students by teaching them. So that has been the topsy-turvy change which has taken place. And of course, we may not be as good as Dronacharya was, maybe, but each of us, each of the teachers, they have full intention of marking their impact in the student's brain. So How much exposed are we towards finding out ways of engaging learners offline without making them undergo gazing to YouTube or searching links here and there? Are there ways in which, without making them gazing at the screen, there can be some activities which which they can do, like while teaching geometry or while introducing the chapter geometry, can we give them a task to prepare some three-dimensional model using cardboards at home in which they will be using various shapes? Then can we integrate that with certain 21st century skill like public speaking, making videos, and share it? No one likes to listen to others, but everyone likes to be heard. So, assuming that teachers know everything and students do not know everything may not be right. The right approach that would be that some of the students can become peer leader even. Some of the students might be knowing more than other students in the same class, and they can be good resource, and hence flip teaching can help. So instead of muting all, or instead of putting the video mode all off for all, if we ask students to describe in their own language, I think the classroom will be more engaging, more learning will take place, and learning outcome will be achieved in a better manner. So if I make my discussion any more elongated, I think people will not be much interested because good things come in small packages. So always try to keep things so short and simple so that it remains impactful. So if you need any kind of idea related to what can be your way of dealing with the students and problems you face, you can write in the comment box. And in the comment box, I will be giving you various ideas in which you can use ready-made artificial intelligence, which you also don't need to program, to take the test of the students as well as engage them in interesting and joyful learning activities. I have no other priorities other than finding out these ways, and I have found out many such ways. For this, I had to undergo one course from IIM Rohtak. I underwent a 6 months online course in strategic management. And more than strategic management, I learned how the professors were coming online to teach the teachers and other professionals, those who were already MBAs. So during those 6 months, I found that virtual learning or learning online can be equally impactful or can be more impactful, in which students can learn by, resting on their bed. Students can learn by keeping laptop on their lap. Students can learn by putting the earphone on their ears while doing journey and whatnot. I remember in one of the classes, I was not able to attend that by sitting ideal in a silent room, but I kept myself online and keeping the earphone in my ears, and I was traveling in train. I completed the whole class, and the class was impactful. I still remember the name of the topic which was taught was BCG matrix, Boston Consulting Group's matrix for decision making. So it was a very interesting class, and I learned it while I was doing journey by keeping earphone in my ears, and I was not able to listen to the video or the live class by sitting at home because I had to do journey. There was no other option. That too in a local train, but I completed the class. So that's the charm of duplicating ourselves. Once we do anything online and we record it, we make multiple copies of ourselves, which can serve us year after year. Our video content, our way of teaching is actually intellectual property, which will be live or which will be living even after our life. So we can take this as an opportunity for showcasing our style, our signature style of teaching. Because just like DNA fingerprint or our fingerprint, everyone's teaching style is also different. Because everybody's composition, everybody's life experiences are different. So that is it. If you have anything to ask related to online teaching, you can write in the comment box. I'm sure I will be able to help you with any question related to online teaching or exploring yourself in the field of online teaching. This is Uttam Chatterjee. Most of you know, and those who do not know, you can subscribe me and can find me who I am by writing my name in